13 years ago, Herobrine made his appearance, and here we are today with the full true story finally revealed. At least that's what the Mr. Epic is going to be talking about, so let's watch and see.
Herobrine is the most famous myth and legend in all of gaming.
It is true.
Becoming so synonymous with Minecraft itself.
I got a lot of views from Herobrine.
Notch would repeatedly tell players he didn't exist, players would still report seeing him in their worlds. From 2010 to 2014, Herobrine not only spread through the internet like wildfire, but also seemingly made thousands of appearances in players' survival worlds, forever cementing himself.
Imagine if he had somehow secretly been put in the game.
Earliest days. However, nobody knows who created Herobrine exactly. Nobody knows how Herobrine came to be. And almost nobody knows that for 13 years now, the story of Herobrine has been very wrong. Herobrine's true origin story and original form were only just recently discovered. We all know the legend of Herobrine, but I'll give you a brief rundown of his most
remember the first screenshot posted, don't we?
Herobrine was first mentioned in an old creepypasta on 4chan, where a player recounts his paranormal experiences and posts the first ever screenshot of Herobrine.
What a cool screenshot.
The player recently spawned in a new single-player world, where everything was normal at first as he began chopping down some trees.
Isn't it cool they found the seed from that screenshot, by the way?
It was a cow, but it was another character with empty eyes and no name. He tried to pursue the strange figure out of curiosity, but before he knew it, he was gone. The player then began finding strange things around his world, 2x2 tunnels, sand pyramids, trees with no leaves. The player took to the forums to ask if anybody else had seen such an anomaly, to which his post was deleted by a user named Herobrine, who told him to stop. The player then managed to get in contact with other users on the forums who had claimed to see him, and after further research, it was supposedly revealed that Herobrine was the name of Notch's dead brother. From there, a player called Copeland stumbled across the creepypasta and liked it. Copeland was part of a streaming duo with his friend called Brocraft and decided to Photoshop Herobrine into a screenshot of his world, getting great reactions out of his
down
chat.
there. Yeah,
so
down the bottom.
He decided to do a stream where he would encounter Herobrine, of which we now know was a retextured painting. His viewers and the community did not, though.
It was a retextured painting.
His encounter, Copeland would post the clip to the Minecraft forums, where it would receive almost 700 responses. Most players at the time were freaked out, scared to touch the game again, and utterly terrified.
That is interesting that a lot of people thought it was real.
Herobrine and this clip spread all around the Minecraft community, with a variety of other players having their own sightings and telling their own stories of strange occurrences in their worlds. By this point, Notch and Mojang had become well aware of Herobrine and, as a joke, decided to include starting in
That's cool.
1.6.6
They had to stop at a point though, didn't they?
Herobrine text in the game's changelogs. This would be a regular occurrence, appearing in a variety of Minecraft updates at the time, and this tradition is still continued today. With
Is it?
last being
I didn't even know they still did it.
1.20 changelogs. Back
I didn't
then,
know they did that.
changelogs used to immediately appear when you opened the Minecraft launcher, and
I remember those
a lot
days.
of people saw Herobrine was removed and likely googled him out of confusion to get more information, growing his popularity immensely. And the rest is history. There have been mods, hundreds of sighting videos with millions of views, and a lot of videos revisiting the now well-known story of Herobrine. And they are all wrong.
They're all wrong.
Now,
Interesting.
something many of you may not have noticed.
We're about to go deeper
in 2010, Herobrine was regularly referred to as another name, him. In fact, Copeland's original sighting thread, where Herobrine first began gaining popularity, referred to Herobrine as just him as well. You can find a lot of posts referencing him and his mythical white eyes, Herobrine's key feature, and the sole thing distinguishing him from Steve. But things start to get confusing when you realize that many of these posts where Herobrine is not named
that would be so creepy,
but instead
wouldn't it?
referred to as just him were made days or even weeks before Copeland's sighting and seem to refer to a different entity altogether. Let's first go back to July the 31st, 2010, exactly 1 month before Copeland's stream. A post was made to the forums called 13.ogg, a work of fiction, by user I'm a Hedgehog. Just a day before this post, Minecraft Alpha 1.0.14, a secret Friday update, had released containing disc 13, which at the time, alongside Cat, were the first two music discs to ever be added.
Oh, there he is in the background on the
Cat
right.
was a nice melodic disc, pleasant to listen to, but on the other hand, 13 was extremely unsettling, off-putting, and outright creepy.
It was.
It's important to note that Minecraft at the time during Alpha was significantly scarier. The darker lighting, lack of a brightness slider, secret updates where Notch would add features to the game without telling players what exactly was added.
That's kind of cool. You know what? I kind of would love that to see that again. Secret features added, but like bigger ones where we don't know what they're going to be, and it's just like we just bump into it. Wouldn't that be cool? You know, we just didn't know what was being added, and then we just bump into like. Imagine if they didn't tell you about the warden, and then you just found a deep dark, and then went. It could be fun. It could be fun.
Leading to players not knowing much about it, made Minecraft
because
a
the thing is, when I do a video, when an update happens, I know everything that's been added. There's not going to be anything new that I'm like, oh, I didn't know about that. Like, imagine just stumbling across some or a new mob or something to freak you out. I don't know, it'd be cool.
Scary and unknown world at the time. Not only that, but cave ambience noises were also only recent additions to the game at the time, making Minecraft much scarier. There are a handful of posts from early August 2010 where players mention spotting white eyes in the pitch black darkness of caves, providing links that are now unfortunately dead, as well as recounts of their sightings.
Oh, every link is dead now.
Fan art of white eyes and what players at the time believed it to look like, but once again, all links are dead with no archives, likely lost to time. Amongst
Isn't that crazy? There's things on the internet that are just gone now.
Players, some players in the original thread by Endorphin mentioned it was a rendering bug or graphical glitch where a block's texture does not fully fit to the block's edges. There are in fact similar bug reports from a few years later of such rendering bugs.
Was it actually in there?
Endorphin declined such an idea, and notably mentioned right here in response to one such player that they were wrong, and it was White Eyes as we named her. Her? Okay, we need to pause here.
It was him earlier, wasn't it?
What does White Eyes actually look like? Is White Eyes just a different form of Herobrine? Well, let's quickly get a timeline of events because it
is White Eyes like the inspiration for Herobrine?
On the 31st of July, that video with the White Eyes image and Disc 13 audio was uploaded to YouTube. That same day, Flaky would repost the White Eyes story. Then, a day later on August the 1st, the I Can't Take It Anymore thread, where White Eyes was officially named, was posted, as well as the now lost fan art of what White Eyes was supposed to look like. While those images are gone, Ozzy was able to conceptualize White Eyes' form based on comments responding to the fan art, which described it as a skeleton spider hybrid. The model you've seen in this video is one I got custom made based on those conceptualizations, by the way. A few dozen White Eyes posts later, and then on August 24th, a user on the forums named Goatee made a post about their own White Eyes encounter, where they supposedly ran into a player on their single player world with whited out eyes and the default Steve skin. This is the first known conceptualization of the Herobrine we are all familiar with today, and also where he began being referred to as a man, particularly him. There were no mentions of the name Herobrine yet. This was still just White Eyes. Interestingly, a comment on that post mentioned that this is the second story they've now seen of a white-eyed player model, potentially implying that the original post and story are yet to be found, and maybe the first ever post or thread where Herobrine was created.
That's true, the first main may still be out there.
Was made 5 days before this thread, it's highly likely.
Anywho, continuing on, and Copeland did his stream encountering him, and the rest is history.
Let's now go back to that original video where the White Eyes image was first made by Kerchak. Was this the original creator of White Eyes and thus the inspiration, or even the creator of Herobrine? Ozzy Flawall and a few others managed to get in contact with them on Discord, who mentioned that they didn't remember exactly why they put the white dots in the bottom of the image, but confirmed it might have been inspired by the same rendering bug we mentioned earlier, and was more of just a fun joke. They didn't write the original 4chan creepypasta Flaky reposted, nor created the concept of White Eyes. It's still a mystery. So, what's believed to have happened is this. Someone on 4chan saw this video,
this is the final story,
when looking for Disc 13's audio, and came up with the White Eyes story based on the image and the creepy Disc 13 audio. That story was then reposted to the forums by Flaky, and then Endorphin created their similar post, potentially inspired by the story Flaky reposted, and officially named her White Eyes. From there, somewhere between August the 13th and August the 19th, Herobrine was created. And somewhere between August the 13th and August the 25th, his Steve form and identity was conceptualized, likely as some players' interpretation of the original White Eyes story. Herobrine evolved from
Imagine being one of the people that kind of
was heavily inspired by
helped
her.
in the creation of Herobrine.
He was not the first and not the original, but a mere different version of the White Eyes myth that was so commonly known at the time. This creepypasta and
spider
image is
version.
likely not the first Herobrine story or encounter. Flaky's reposted story is the first known instance whereby White Eyes and thus later Herobrine was created. Yet, it was Herobrine who became cemented in Minecraft history, with White Eyes forgotten to time. The problem is, this just leaves us with more questions than answers.
It is,
The
yeah.
original creator and source of White Eyes is unknown. The original creator and source of Herobrine is also now even more of a mystery than before. While it was previously believed that the original source of Herobrine was this creepypasta, we now know there's a good chance it was created elsewhere. Where did the name Herobrine even come from? How did we go from White Eyes to Herobrine? These
we don't know
are
the gap.
questions we may never answer. All the notable individuals involved have attempted to be tracked down and contacted by Ozzy and others, part of the White Eyes research team on Discord, with only Kura responding thus far. This is where we need your
They're trying to
help.
get in contact.
If you happen to know or are any of the individuals mentioned in this video, please join the White Eyes Discord below or leave a comment on this video, as you could hold the keys to finding the truth behind White Eyes and Herobrine. Share this video around so as many people as possible can see it as well.
This
So
is
what
it.
have we learned from this entire
The search for the true identity of Herobrine and was White Eyes Herobrine, all of that, all could be out there. We just need to find the people that made those original posts. So yeah, if you know anybody, ladies and gentlemen, get in that Discord on the Mr. Epics video. But yeah, thank you for watching. Interesting and spooky stuff.